Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, November 9th, 2011, and it's about 7:02 a.m. Yeah, shocking, isn't it? Well, the reason is because about 58 minutes ago or so, about a little over an hour ago, let's just say about 62, 65 minutes ago, I got home from work. Basically, I worked with my brother-in-law, a friend of the family, and my 19-year-old niece. And we basically were cleaning vehicles, if you will, vans and trucks, for a very disclosed company located in two locations. One location is in Petaluma, California. The other is in San Rafael. But this is a very disclosed company, and that's all I'm going to say. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about what is being asked up there. You see, ever since 2:30 came out, Sonic the Hedgehog 2:30, a lot of people have been asking the question about one scene. One scene that some have felt was very beautiful. Some have said was beautifully done. Some would say was kind of sad. Some had mixed feelings about. But from what I've seen, others really felt didn't make any sense. And as you can see up the question above, this is why. See, the question a lot of people have, and even though some people may not agree with it and may agree with it, but wonder that same question as well, and wonder if maybe the people asking this question are correct, and that is, did Ian Flynn write Sally and Nicole as idiots in 2:30? Now, I know what you're saying. You're going to say, well, wait a minute. Why ask that question? Well, you see, according to what many fans who have read the issue have said, now, remind you, I have not read my issue. I have not opened it up. And I am not going to open it up or read any of the upcoming issues until this thing's resolved. And I've already given my reasons for that. If you want to know more about that, look up on the videos, look at some of the various topics at Sonic sites. But the reason this question is asked is because according to many people that have read the issue and have read this panel, even those that have said it was beautifully done, it was sad to read, and all that, and some have mixed feelings about. The reason a lot of people kind of inquire this question is because there are some fans out there that have felt that this scene was unnecessary. You see, they look at what's being described in the scene. According to what they said in the reviews about it, they said that in the scene, Nicole and Sally indicate they have 5 minutes before the planet roboticizer goes off and roboticizes the entire planet. Okay. A lot of people have criticized this for a reason. Some have said it's ridiculous at the fact that Sally and Nicole, they have 5 minutes, and with Nicole being the AI that she is, could easily, with Sally's help, set the button, the roboticizer button, if you will, to go off in 5 minutes, giving them plenty of time to get away with Sonic and out of the Death Egg. Now, I have to admit that this does sound like a more logical sense. But then again, maybe it isn't. Because you got to look at it from different perspectives. Maybe it's taking them about 5 minutes or most of that time to set up the connection that needs to be made, the interfacing that needs to be made. In that one last moment, Sally knew that she probably, the way you're supposed to look at it is maybe Sally knew that even if they had the time, it still was going to take up a majority of the time to get the interface to direct the power of the roboticizer in their direction. So she probably knew she wouldn't make it out of there as she was. Now, That's one way to look at it. Another way is exactly how some people have looked at it. Some say, well, you know what? They could have easily delayed it real quickly, got out of there. It doesn't make no sense. And this is why a lot of people do criticize Ian, because obviously he's opened up a gaping hole here. It's like, what sense does it make for her to turn into a robot when she had the opportunity right there, that open door, to escape with Nicole and Sonic to safety? What sense did it make? To many fans, it didn't make no sense. And again, these fans have the right to their opinion. But again, when you kind of look at it from a head comic book writer perspective and a longtime fan of comic books perspective, in a way, you got to look at the fact that it did probably take a majority of the time to interface and hack into the computers to direct the power of the roboticizer in their direction. And knowing that was going to happen, it was going to probably mean Sally would have to eventually do what she did. Now, though, there's another way you can look at it. Another way you can look at it is the fact that it actually opens the door for some possibilities. You see, Sally, even though she knew she'd probably turn into a robot and have to be on Eggman's side and all that, maybe it opened the door for a possibility of this. Nicole, basically, from what I've read in the summaries, tried to warn Sally she shouldn't do this. Who's to say that during the 5 minutes it took to interface and hack into and direct the roboticizer's power towards the Death Egg and towards Sally's direction, who's to say in that 5 minutes Nicole didn't interface part of herself into that, along with some possible nanites, to probably keep a part of Sally free of Robotnik's control? You see, that's something that we don't know. We don't know, but if you think about it, that door's opened right there. But the thing is, did that happen? You see, a lot of people say that, they had 5 minutes to get right out of there and be safe. But when you look at it from a long-term comic book fan and head writer perspective, possibly, you got to understand that the interfacing and the hacking and all that probably took up a majority of the time. But then again, you got to look at the fact that even though that took up a majority of the time, it also opened the door that maybe Nicole put a part of herself into the roboticized Sally, so that Sally would probably keep a part of her free will. We don't know. We don't know. Now, again, though, the question is, did Ian write them as idiots? I honestly can't say that he did. I mean, yes, there's a logical explanation on behalf of the fans that feel that that the characters had plenty of time to get out of there and get to safety. That's an understandable explanation, one that you could debate all you want. But the truth is, when you look at it from a real-time perspective, if you will, and sort of being a long-time fan of comic books and everything, you would have to say that doing the hacking and the interfacing and all that took up a majority of the time. And that Sally probably knew that that was going to probably be what she would have to do. Now, you also got to look at it in a way as this is Sally's way of paying Sonic and everybody back for giving her a second chance at life by helping him save the planet. Now, the question is, though, again, were they written as idiots? I don't know. I don't really know, folks, but I will say this. Ian Flynn has gotten some criticism. He's dealing with it. And I'm pretty sure over his forums, which I can't access, but I'm pretty sure over his forums, he's gotten people getting on him a little bit, praising him for that scene. But I'm also pretty sure a lot of them, or some of them, are probably getting on him saying, you had probably telling him things like, hey, Ian, you had all this time You had that 5-minute open door. They could have got to safety. Why didn't you go in that direction? I'm pretty sure he's hearing that from a lot of fans. Maybe not as much as I think, but I'm just saying from a majority of fans. But is he? You see, we don't know. But again, the debate and the question is up there. If you want to respond in a comment or a video response, go ahead. But again, the question is, in the recently released issue of Sonic 230, did Ian Flynn write Sally and Nicole as idiots? Comment down below, and I'll talk to you later.